Yes, Rascal and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar. Oh, I'm still decadently calling the Disco Arms. Been looking forward to this one all week. It's taken me a little bit of time to do it, but since I went up Lidl last week, had a brief look at the new Craft Beer Festival beers and picked a couple up. This is the second one. Did the Balloon Safari last week. This is another one from Love Lane. Is their Maple Syrup Stout, 7.4%. Loving the bling on the can art, nice gold and black colours there on the can. Love a bit of that. I think it does give it a kind of air of decadence and, like I say, a bit of bling and a bit of, you know, gold. Basically gold standard. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good, but I'm looking forward to getting out in the glass and having a little look at it. I've seen a few other people do this one this week. I haven't looked at them too much, don't want to get too many ideas, want to go into it fairly objectively, but it's a stout, it's a big stout. I love a sweet stout. Maple syrup sounds good to me, so without further ado, let's get it in the glass and see what we find. Go for the bowl glass on this one because I think it makes it a bit more decadent and slow sipping beer. I think this is going to be a sipper. I'm alright for the rest of the evening on that one. Pours out pretty jet back into the glass. There's a fair bit of bubbles rising up on the top there. I think it looks fairly well carbonated, but there's a kind of tan coloured head, kind of fairly light, kind of creamy coffee coloured. Looks pretty good. It's quite some quite big bubbles in it. Can't see anything else through the glass there though. There's no tinges around the edge. Let's go straight in and check it out. Okay, big, yeah, definitely big cocoa kind of aromas. Plenty of chocolate. Maybe, I don't know, just kind of maybe hints of honey, maple syrup kind of. I don't go around sniffing crunchy bars, and I haven't had one for a long time, but it kind of reminds me of maybe a crunchy bar. Yeah, got a sort of rough honey maple syrup, maybe kind of inference, kind of aroma going on. Let's dive in and check out the taste. Cheers. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, no, it's alright. There isn't masses of chocolate, there is a certain amount of roastiness, like kind of cocoa flavour that you get on a chocolate bar. There's a good sweetness. Just some two mouthfuls. Fair bit of lacing, a little bit of alcohol in there. That's probably going to stay down the side of the glass all the way down. It's fairly heavy on the flavours, but lightish on the body. There's I always use the description kind of rough around the edges. There's a little bit of roughness on the tongue, on the back from the kind of burnt, roasty malt kind of flavours going on. I had one or two from Love Lane, all of them through Lidl. It's not one I necessarily rushed to, but because they're in Lidl and they're a good price, what was it, I think $1.79. So I'll always have a look at them. I've had a couple of stinkers that I haven't bothered to review, but a couple of perfectly decent ones. This one, is it going to be my favourite stout? No. Is it perfectly drinkable for the price? Yeah, it's okay. I'm not going to rave about it. I'm going to say the can art is better than the contents. Sounds a bit maybe controversial, I don't know, but it is perfectly drinkable. I don't think it's particularly smooth. It's quite heavy on the flavours, but kind of light on the body. say a little bit thin. That's not a criticism, because stout doesn't have to be thick and voluptuous and gloopy, but when you get 7.4% stout in a gold can, you probably do think that's how it's going to be. Yeah, it's got those chocolate cocoa flavours that are kind of developing. Not as sweet as I thought it would be, even though there's a fair amount of sweetness there. A kind of slight kind of savoury edge from those burnt flavours as well. Kind of burnt toastish going on. Reminiscent of a crunchy bar without being full on honey maple syrup kind of. I don't know, I probably shouldn't be comparing honey and maple syrup. They are kind of fairly different, although out of the same stable, I suppose. Don't actually know what the actual difference is. I'm sure somebody will tell me. Do let me know in the comments or whatever. But yeah, it's a perfectly decent kind of roasted malt toasty kind of bread stout. Say not as much sweetness as I imagine for maple syrup. Can't specifically pick out maple syrup as such. I'm a little bit disappointed. Maybe I went into it with too much expectation. I thought it was going to be a stunner. It's not going to trouble my beer of the year. It's not. I'm not going to rush back to Lidl and pick it up again. Plenty of other stouts to try that are probably just as decent, if not more so. But for the price, I've got to say it is all in balance. There's some good flavours to pick out. Sweetness maybe comes a little bit later. It sits well in the glass, and it's perfectly drinkable. Let me know if you've had this from Lidl and you think I'm talking utter rubbish and it's amazing, the best stout you've ever had. I don't mind being wrong, but do let me know. Also, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and hang around till after the titles, and maybe click on one of the panels to see one of our other videos. Until then, I've been Disco Rasco and Disco Beer Review. Enjoy the beers. Cheers.